Yeah, that one I remember. That's really cool.
Yeah, that one's nice.
Is that an actual like bar front somewhere? Probably not, right?
Yeah, it's a picture somewhere. Cheers and welcome back to Reels, Booze, and Bros, aka RB2. I'm your host, Jay. Got my co-host with me, Brian. We got Nick, our other co-host, inside the chat with us in the Twitch stream. Nick, what's up? Good to see you there. Vodka Martinis. Good luck with that. And we got our real bro fan, Kev. He likes to be special. Gentlemen, what's up? How are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty well.
Kev?
I too am doing pretty well.
I'm doing pretty well. And Nick said, "What's up, fellas?" Nick, how you doing tonight? From here in the chat, everything's instant on the chat, so there's no like second delay.
Shaking, not stirred.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how he's doing. I'll turn it this way for you. All right. So our previous podcast was Goldfinger, and I like to apologize to all the real bro fans out there, the real fans, and the bros, the sisters. I don't know what else we call them on what we had.
Real people.
The real people. And the millions. Yeah, I apologize. So what happened was my computer ran out of memory, and it just took a shit on me. And so I had to use the audio from Twitch. So nothing was. The first segment was saved before we went on a break. Then when we came back from the break, it went to a certain point. I just lost all of it at that point, and I used the audio from the Twitch video that we used, which was horrendous. And yeah. If you stuck with it, thank you very much. It was one of our darkest times here. It was probably the worst episode besides like the first few episodes we had. We didn't know what was going on.
Talk about a 1 year.
And then, yeah, exactly, 1 year anniversary, and it went straight down the drain. And speaking of 1 year anniversary, we're going to announce who the winner of our $25 gift card from Amazon. Woo! Yo, you guys we just broke the bank, man. I hope you guys enjoy. Christmas will be great.
Drum roll.
Yeah, a little drum roll. So actually, you had to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on Twitch, and all those three. We're gonna go with. He should be over here in the chat. We'll be meeting up with us later. Someone named Tree Kicker. Congratulations, Tree Kicker. You won the $25. We'll send you an email with the code and everything that's there. So I hope you enjoy. Maybe get something nice, little special for Amazon on there. All right. So, speaking of last week, Goldfinger, what do you guys think?
Well, the podcast cut out when we all agreed that Oddjob is the best character.
Nick, was Oddjob the best character? I think Nick, I hate honestly, let's get back into the Twitch chat and see what he says. Nope. Just that, a big nope. I think he'll write some more, curse words in there, but I don't think you can. So I might have the family friendly on there. And so, yeah, I don't want to go too far into Goldfinger, but enjoyable. Pussy Galore, fantastic name. Plain simple. Moving on. This week we're doing the Pierce Brosnan one, Goldeneye. But before we move on to that, let's go on with the booze. I brought the booze this time. Like last week I did too as well. I decided to keep the Woodford Reserve in there because bourbon's just fantastic. And it's this We Want the Gold from Icarus Brewery. This is the one that I wanted to get for us last week, but I was not able to. So it's a IPA, Imperial Indian Pale Ale. It is 8.1% alcohol by volume, and this is fantastic. Let's see. Copiously dry hopped with El Dorado, Mosaic, and Columbus. That's not Christopher Columbus? I don't know. Very good.
He did come for gold.
As Nick says, it's a solid beverage.
I love gold.
So we have to see Brian. Nick, what do you think about it? Nick, what do you got? Brian's still drinking. I think he just finished his. So yeah,
not the whole thing.
Jesus.
I mean, I do like this beer. It's once again, it's an 8.1%. I think we're just used to these by now, so I'm not feeling anything. But I mean, the nut is young, so but it is a smooth beer. You got no like any like extra little taste or like hops, like any of that little like kickback you get after some of them. This one's just smooth. I feel like Icarus does a good job with that. Like they never really have like an aftertaste on their beers, so they definitely do it right. So.
Yeah, Nick agrees with you. He's yep, very, very smooth going to the track. Solid beverage. Indeed it is. So, Kev, what do you think about this beverage?
Honestly, from having it, I feel like this is probably one of the best beers that we've had on the podcast.
You think so?
I think this tastes really good, actually.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this quite a bit.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
There's one more in there with your name on it inside that fridge over there. So.
But no, we say every single time it doesn't taste like it's that strong, and it doesn't. But it's still, you can kind of get that like kind of hoppiness at the end for a little bit for the most part. But
yes,
this is really smooth. I like whatever the flavor is. I don't know what Columbus is supposed to taste like, but he tastes delicious.
Tastes like freedom in America. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, this is really good. I'm actually like I can't remember every beer we've had on the podcast when I've been here, but this is definitely one of my favorites.
This is real smooth, real smooth.
Very nice. Okay, moving on. So, background on the movie of Goldeneye. So, Goldeneye is a 1995 spy film. Didn't know that. It's the 17th in the James Bond series produced by Eon Productions and the first to star Pierce Brosnan as the fictional MI6 agent James Bond. It was directed by Martin Campbell and is the first in the series not to utilize any story elements from the works of novelist Ian Fleming. This is also the first James Bond film not produced by Albert R. Broccoli. That's fantastic. Following his stepping down from Eon Productions and replacement by his daughter, Barbara Broccoli. God, it's hard. BB. Along with Michael G. Wilson, although Albert was still involved in the film as a consultant producer, which being his final involvement in James Bond film and also during his career before his death in '96. The story was conceived and written by Michael France, and with later collaboration by other writers. In the film, Bond fights to prevent a rogue ex-MI6 agent, Sean Bean, from using a satellite weapon against London to cause a global financial meltdown. Okay, let's see. And the film was also released after a 6-year hiatus in a series caused by legal disputes, during which Timothy Dalton resigned from the role of James Bond and was placed by Brosnan. M was also recast, with actress Judi Dench becoming the first woman to portray the character, replacing Robert Brown. The role of Miss Moneypenny was also recast, with Caroline Bliss being replaced by Samantha Bond. Desmond Llewellyn was the only actor to reprise his role as Q. It was the first Bond film made after the dissolution of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War, which provided a background for the plot. Principal photography for Goldeneye took place in the UK, Russia, Monte Carlo, and Puerto Rico. It was the inaugural film production to be shot at Leavens Den Studios. The first Bond film to use computer-generated imagery. Goldeneye was also the final film of the special effects supervisor Derek Medding's career and was dedicated to his memory. Fuck, I had a bunch of that little BTS in there. I just didn't realize I had it all up front. So we'll go over that in a bit. Now, okay. Let's go with the Metacritic and critic reviews. Metacritic, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is 79% on a tomato meter, 83% audience score. IMDb 7.2 out of 10. Metacritic, so the meta score 65 out of 100. User score 6.9 out of 10. This is what we got for the reviews. Nick, I'm gonna go to you in the chat. Put yours up there. I'll read it out and see what you thought of this while we go to you gentlemen first. Brian, I know you love this movie. Love Pierce Brosnan. The hair, beautiful.
Yeah.
Flowing black locks in there. So what you got?
Opposite of what I have. But rewatching this, it's a tough watch for me. Like, as much as I love the Bond character itself, like, it just makes me appreciate the newer ones so much more. Pierce Brosnan, like, what do you do? 3 Bonds, right? Like,
no, I think he did 4.
3 or 4. This is probably his best one, and like this one is just so fucking outrageous. Where I'm just like, oh my god. So like my score for like this is probably like a 7. I mean, it's got a decent story. I do like Sean Bean as the bad guy. So I don't know if it's like just like the first time we get introduced to Sean Bean, because this is like kind of like foreshadowing his career later on, where he like somewhat is a good guy in most of the movies.
This is the first thing I can remember him from.
Yeah, right. Like where he's somewhat like a good guy.
The first Lord of the Rings movie is like 3 years after this.
It was like 99.
99.
Was it that long after? Nick has a question for you, Brian. How is this more outrageous than the newer Bonds?
Just the first scene alone, jumping into the goddamn plane.
So jumping off the cliff from a motorcycle into the plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right then and there. Like,
I'll go with Brian on this. I don't think the new Bonds are any more outrageous than a lot of things that happen in this one.
No, they're really not. Like, the more you watch it, it's kind of more realistic and of what could happen. You know, like some of it, like he's fighting on a helicopter. Okay, that's a little bit crazy. Like, But like certain things.
This is the one we were talking. He grabs the helicopter in this.
Yeah, it's just completely outrageous with some of the stuff. Like you're just like, holy shit. Maybe because I was like 12 at the time when I first saw this, I was like, this is so cool. But like now rewatching, I'm like, not so much. But is this also? Now I was trying to think back. Is this right after Pierce Brosnan was technically the bad guy in? He's not even the bad guy, but he was the ex-boyfriend
in Mrs.
Doubtfire. It's after that.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden we had to take him as Bond. So stole Robin Williams' girl.
I don't know.
Look, Robin Williams fucked that up on his own.
No, that was him. I'll tell you, Robin Williams was the bad guy in that movie. Plain and simple. He was the shitty parent. Hands down, and he just wanted to come in. He's James Bond. This is before he became 007. He was just an MI6 agent. Wasn't sure if he was gonna take the role.
He was on a holiday.
And he realized, I actually love this woman. I love her kids. This is the family I want to have. I couldn't have it while I was an MI6 agent. And then Robin Williams comes over and completely fucks everything up. He goes, you know what? I'm fucking done. I'm gonna be a whore and save the world from here on out. Fuck you. All right, go ahead, Kevin. What you think?
Oh, Brian didn't give his actual number yet.
I think it was a 7.
Okay.
So that's how I tie in Mrs. Doubtfire to James Bond.
There's a write-up somewhere about how Mrs. Doubtfire is the villain in that movie. I'd have to see if I can find it again.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Robin Williams is.
For this, I had kind of the opposite experience because I remember not liking this movie that much when I first saw it. And when I was rewatching, I was like, it's not that bad. I'm not going to go much higher than Brian. I'll go like maybe 7.5 is like the highest I'll go. I'm not going to go, but it's an enjoyable 7.5. I'm not saying that like it's a bad movie. There's a lot of things that are ridiculous in it. Like you mentioned that, I think about the one scene within the archives where it's the graded floor that they all shoot through and no one can hit Bond or Natalia the whole time. It's like, that's not how this works. And then at one point Bond just turns around and shoots through and kills everybody. So you have to kind of forget like plot armor, stuff like that when you're watching these movies. But I thought it was interesting.
Those were all pre-Stormtroopers.
I liked it, like I said, I was expecting to not like it that much because I remember not liking any of the Pierce Brosnan ones. I'm pretty sure he did 4. The only 2 I remember even slightly liking is this and Tomorrow. The World Is Not Enough. But again, I wouldn't watch any of those over most of the other Bond films anyway. So yeah, like a 7.5 is probably like the highest I'll go. And the one thing I'll say is when I was watching the movie, the main thing I'm thinking is like, oh, this is the one level in Goldeneye. Oh, this is the next level in Goldeneye from the video game. So it's like, oh, I'm just progressing through the plot of the game basically.
Yeah. I think what was it? So Tomorrow Never Dies, and The World Is Not Enough.
And then he also did Die Another Day. I think those are the 4.
I think that was it. I think
that's it.
I'm looking at his IMDb to figure out where it is. He was in, let's see, 2000.
I think the last one was like 01 or something like that.
Well, what was Casino Royale? Was like 2006 or 7? Somewhere around there?
7 or 8, I think.
All right, I don't know.
Die Another Day, 2002.
So it was the 4 then?
Yep, it was 4. So he did 4. Wow, he did really 4 of those? I don't remember.
Well, you don't remember them because they weren't that good.
I see. I don't remember. I'm trying to figure out what's out there. Like seizures in the background. The movie on in the background.
I don't remember the Timothy Dalton. I think he only did like 2 because there was a big dispute about. 1. Was it 1? Okay, but the thing is, I hate this. Like I don't have anything against Pierce Brosnan. I think he's the worst of the 4 Bonds, even with Timothy Dalton only doing 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. If you say 1, it's fine. I could have sworn he did a second one, but I'm probably wrong. But the problem is with this, like he's basically between the Connery ones, which people like kind of remember and romanticize the most about because they're the original ones, and the Daniel Craig ones are all like each one is really good. All of them are better than any of the ones that Pierce Brosnan did. So yeah, I think it's just kind of a tough beat for Pierce Brosnan, I guess.
No, Nick, you didn't type anything offensive. So Nick tried to write his stuff in the chat. I think you were just typing too fast in chat. I should get rid of that fucking bot because we don't have a lot of followers enough to continue. Or I should promote you to like something else. I wonder if I can. I should have done that. So from here on out, Nick, I'm going to promote you to like moderator so you can type a bunch of shit or like admin on this. A bunch of guys, if you can't make it, you just talk in the chat. Yeah, you were timed out. Because it deleted all your fucking messages in the chat. So it was
too hot for TV.
11 messages were deleted by a moderator. So Nick got a 300-second ban for a moment or timeout.
5 minutes.
Yeah. That's some good math right there. So carrying on, Sorry, Nick. We'll send us through a text, and we'll.
9:33. You're allowed back in.
All right, so I do a filibuster like we're in Congress going on. So my thoughts on this movie, I enjoyed it. I'll give it an 8.3 repeating on this. I'm not a fan of the BMW. I'm glad they really didn't use it when they switched over to that car in there, the Speedster. I'm like, this piece of shit. Did not like that at all. It was so stupid.
But he does drive the Aston Martin.
He does. Yeah, he drives the old school Aston Martin, the one from the beginning.
The guy drives that little Russian jalopy. Nice car.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
Surprised it never.
Another thing I like better about the newer movies is that when they did the American CIA agents are there, and they don't like make fun of them that much. They're actually. These movies, they're like, oh, he's like this. He wears a cowboy hat later on. He's like, oh, hey, Hoss, I told you the Marines would be here. And he's driving his jalopy and shit.
Stupid America with his rose tattoo from his third wife.
Yeah, so it's
I actually like that guy. So.
I like him too, but
he's not bad. I just even when they were portraying it in what was it in Goldfinger. So that's not us Americans are stupid. But like, motherfucker.
That James, he's fine.
So that pissed it off. That pissed me off. And all right, Nick sent me a text. So Nick goes 7.5 for me. Was most memorable Bond for me because of my age when it was released. The weird thing was I felt like every scene should have had a hand with the gun, but that might be from how much time I spent playing the game. Just like Kev, I kept remembering scenes because of the game too.
Where's the grenade launcher?
Yeah. Next, everyone's like, "Shot! You can't be Oddjob." Oddjob shows up in this. He's the shortest character. It's cheating.
And you don't want to play Jaws. He's too tall. Big target.
We'll see. Okay.
So just going about the game, where was the pyramid? We missed the pyramid in this also.
Yeah. It's been so long. It's been so long since I played that game. All right, so moving on. Let's go on to favorite scenes. Again, this movie is like I guess the Bonds really, there aren't that many, other movies have lots of scenes. A lot of it blends in together and blends in very well. It transitions very nicely. So I'll go with mine first. I say the opening scene, again, before the iconic ballad, of the movie, which was Tina Turner, right? And this one we said Tina Turner, very nice.
Tina Turner.
So it just
still not a great song.
No, they're so fucking stupid. It's just as good as the Goldfinger opening scene.
Who wrote this song, right?
I don't know, Michael Jackson.
No, Bono.
Bono.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So.
And then the guitarist is the guy who plays. What's his name from the group?
Edge?
I don't know.
Is it Edge?
Is that the bass player?
Yeah, I think so. He's the one playing. So, but they let Tina sing it.
Okay, very nice, clear. And so again, for the opening scene, I liked it. Interesting. I love how he's doing his spy stuff in a crate. It's very over the top on this one, but I don't care. I love that shit.
We said for the last one also, every Bond film just starts with him just doing spy shit right off the bat.
Right off the bat. It's like, this is just to reassure you, this is what Bond does. He's a spy, he's doing stuff. And I like the idea we have the 006 shows up. You're like,
that was the first time I think you ever meet
another, because you always thought it was 007.
Your name. Yes. A number.
Yeah, you're always like, all right, this guy's 007. What happened to 1 through 5?
Yeah. So it's cool as hell.
1 through 6, I should say.
And then you think of 007 just jumped off a cliff with a motorcycle into a plane. Can 006 do that blindfolded?
Yeah.
Then 005 can do his hands tied to his back, and then so
1 can just move space and time as well. He's basically Thanos.
Yeah, basically he just does a snap and. Let's see.
Work your way up the ranks.
Yeah. Okay, we got a nice text over here from Shane. In case you guys didn't know, I was kind of a big deal playing that game. Love that shit on N64. All right, thanks, Real Bro fan Shane. And let's see what other next scene. I want to say the Ferrari chase scene with on the top. Meeting M, the new M. I like her a lot.
Judi Dench.
Yeah,
she's fantastic.
She's such a perfect cast for this role. The bean counter, and I want to say also I love the weapons R&D lab with Q. Mm-hmm. I like Q a lot in this movie. I thought he was hysterical with the shit that he.
It's only 5 minutes.
I know, but I was such a good scene with everything that's going on. Shooting the rocket launcher out of a fucking cast. What else? Yeah.
No, skiing, hunting.
And
I love everyone else in the background just has dumb shit happening to them. The one guy in the phone booth with the airbag.
And then what is it?
They're wheeling him out. He's stuck.
And I want the tank chase scene. Then the guy's he's just like swigging the whiskey the entire time as the tank is following.
This guy's gonna be hammered by the time.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's.
He's Russian. That's water for him. It's probably vodka. Also.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the vodka they got going on. So those were my scenes. Very tough to go on. So, Kev, what you got for us?
Just to jump off what you just said, I don't really like chase scenes, like car chase scenes at all. But that's probably one of the reasons why I was watching this. I kind of forgot about that scene. It's like, this is actually really cool, the tank chase scene. So, again, that was awesome. We already talked about that. So, I'll bring up for different scenes. Any scene where Xenia is having sex with someone, fantastic. Or is just pantomiming it or whatever's going on.
Yeah.
So, so that's just great. So she has the first scene with the one guy that she crushes to death, which if you say you can't breathe, that means you can. And if her legs are wrapped around her waist, his lungs are higher, so how is he necessarily being suffocated? But anyway, we don't have to worry about
She's
that.
like an MMA fighter in there.
Yeah, she's got a fantastic triangle.
So there's that. I do like the one scene in like the Monument Park. So that's where Bond meets Trevelyan, where he first sees that he's alive again. So I think it's an interesting scene. I thought that happened much later. I thought a lot of the movie was not knowing that 006 was still alive. It's basically halfway in is when you see, oh no, he is still alive. So I like the kind of confrontation between the two of them there when he first realizes he's there. I'll go with the interrogation scene, and then it's kind of leading up to the chase scene. So right before then, when they bring both Bond and Natalia in for interrogation, and then they're running through the archives, and then it leads into the tank chase. And then just one more I'll point out is it's a small scene in the office. You mentioned M as a character also.
Yes.
When he first goes into office, that's the first time that Bond, who's the new Bond, is meeting the new M also.
Yes.
And she's just like, I don't like you. You're a relic of the old ways. You're a womanizer. All that stuff. So I like the kind of like just real quick interaction between the two of them. So I'll put that for my other scene. Since Jay just walked away, just to do one more, then I'm sure Brian will talk about it also. The last scene, the entirety of when they first get to the dish in Cuba, and then there's a bunch of different things that happen. There's the first scene where they're in the bunker, the second kind of scene where it's them chasing on the actual antenna, but that's another great scene. So, all right, since Jay stepped away, I'll just throw it over to Brian.
Go. So for me, I don't have much more than what you guys already said. I'm just kind of going with like outrageous scenes. So obviously the first scene we just said, the beginning of the movie, jumping off the fucking cliff off the motorcycle into the plane, and just like, what the fuck? So that's kind of crazy. And like we were saying, why are you telling him to stop shooting? Like, kill the guy. Like, I don't get it. There's that. I do like, when he's meeting with Q, I thought that part was hysterical. And like you said, all the stuff that he's, all the gadgets that he has and all that stuff.
What's this, dude? Don't touch that. It's my lunch.
Yeah. But to go off what you said with meeting M, I do like how she's introduced into the movie when one of the other guys is just he's like, oh, it looks like your intuition was right, and he's like, but whatever he says, he's like kind of making fun of M, and also
the number crunchers don't really care. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and she walks in at that time, and she's just like, oh, really? So I thought it was a cool way to introduce her. She's fantastic in this role, and like later on throughout the other movies, I think she just becomes more of a vital character in the movie. But I do like how she puts Bond in his place, and I feel like she always does, even in, moving forward in all the other movies, in the Brosnan movies, and then the Daniel Craig movies. So, I have a quote from her in the movie about, like, if she has the balls to send somebody to die, that's her job, but she wants to do it and make sure she has all the knowledge to do it. So that was good. And then the tank scene for me, once again, another outrageous scene. First off, I'm not a military guy. Jay, maybe you could answer how fucking fast the tanks go.
I looked it up as soon as I was watching this.
I was like, come on, man. How could you catch this guy? And how could you be that bad at driving that you can't get away from this fucking tank? Like, this is ridiculous.
So I had the same thought, so I literally went online and looked it up. So tanks are only designed to go like 25 miles an hour, apparently.
Yeah, but
they can go faster, but it says it basically destroys the tank in the process because it doesn't
looks like he's cruising at 60, no problem.
That's exactly what he destroyed that tank in the process. He went through buildings.
He's like, this isn't my tank. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
That's right.
I can blow the transmission.
Yeah.
He looked like fucking Dominic Toretto out there, Fast and Furious style. Fucking hit the e-brake, slide.
No, the first thing when we talk about things are ridiculous. That's I could probably go through my search history. You can probably see how fast do tanks go in my search history.
So that's what I was like. But I'm like, man, this motherfucker knows how to drive everything. It's crazy. I'm like, did they go to school for all this? So, but yeah, that was just insane. Like I did enjoy, like Jay was saying, with the villain drinking the fucking out of the flask the whole time. Like, oh, he's getting on us.
Yeah, the General Ustinov, whatever his name or something like that.
Shut up, and then he takes a sip.
Yeah, guys,
drive faster.
Yeah, I wonder how much he had in that. He probably had a full flask, but it wasn't that big.
It was a small one, yeah. He's probably got 2 or 3.
Very good. So Nick says he loves the R&D scene, and he was dying at the guy from the phone booth inside the fucking. So, he's like, I love the smile on his dead face. Let's see. What else? He thought the scene with Moneypenny did a good job continuing with the cat and mouse game between the two. Okay, so we got that, and let's move on to Jay Weezy. Thank you for in the chat. Let's see, stream of Solid Boys. Very good, very good. Oh, so speaking of the stream, before we go on, this is a new background we got here. I decided to change it up. We're inside a bar. Looks like we got a little beer, a little desk in there, like we have going on. We got the booze cam going on. This looks pretty shitty. The booze cam, as you can see here on the chat. I gotta spruce that up a bit, but. You know, I'm liking the background, the little desk we have, the podcast microphone with the pint over there, and the little cactus plant on there. Why not have a cactus plant? Looks cute. So I digress. Moving on. Favorite scenes done. So, favorite quotes. Anyone want to start? What we got going on? Brian? Sure. Brian, can you flip through your pages over there?
Yeah.
Kev lost it on his actual modern technology phone.
I don't have many quotes, but...
Again, not a quotable movie.
No.
So it's very tough to pull stuff out. So
I will say, like, I'll go back to the one I was just referencing before. It was from M, and when she's like... I wouldn't say she's disciplining Bond, but, you know, she's letting her know where she lies at. So it goes with, if you think for one moment I don't have the balls to send a man out to die, your instincts are dead wrong. I have no compunction about sending you to your death, but I won't do it on a whim, even with your cavalier attitude towards life. You know, and she's not wrong with what she's saying. You know, he just...
And she was kind enough at the end of that speech to say, come back alive, by the way.
Yeah, after she's like, I want you to, go find a Goldeneye. And,
didn't she say I hate you in the beginning? You're pretty looking motherfucker.
Well, because she doesn't like...
I didn't write that quote down. I was like, yeah, you're a womanizer. You're a relic of the Cold War is what she basically says.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it plays into it since the Cold War technically ended in '89. So, all that good stuff. Then this one's from Q. Need to remind you, 007, that you have a license to kill, not to break the traffic laws. I like that one. That one always made me chuckle. Bond. She always did enjoy a good squeeze. Oh, on a top. And then a more serious Bond quote, but, it's like, governments change, but the lies, they stay the same. So, that's all I had.
All right. Kev, what you got for us?
So I have a few from early on in the film also. They're in that early scene with in the casino with Xenia also.
Yes.
So the first thing that he says is...
Baccarat, right? They're playing Baccarat
yeah.
or something stupid fucking
So she says half of everything is luck, James. The other half, fate. So that's what they're going through for there. And then when they're leaving the table, after she loses, she just says, enjoy it while it lasts. Bond says the very words I live by. So he says, what words do you live by? She says, the trick is to quit while you're still ahead. And then Bond says, that's the one trick I never learned.
This is true.
Like and then right after that, it's like I said in the last movie, there's like kind of like these weird throwaway lines that you don't think of. So I mentioned the one for Goldfinger was when he sees Goldfinger on the plane. Oh, congratulations on your promotion. You having lunch at the White House? So in this one, in that casino scene, he's talking to Zenny and he says, oh, well, when you guys are forging stuff, French license plates don't start with L or whatever it is. He's giving the whole thing about how she knows that she's full of shit, basically.
Yes.
So she looks at him and goes, well, what rank do you hold with the motor vehicle department?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then I think he says Admiral or something like that, and then
Commander.
And then the next person's introduced as Admiral.
This is Admiral, who I squeeze later.
So when you talked about like weird government stuff, it's actually right before the government's change. Government's change, the lie stays the same. We're looking at the satellite pictures, and James asks, "Are these pictures live?" And M goes, "Unlike the American government, we prefer not to get our bad news from CNN."
Yeah.
So that's a good one too. So I only have basically one more, and it's the Trevelyan speech about like James Bond's character in general. I don't have like his whole thing going over why he's doing everything, because I didn't think it was that interesting when he's explaining that they're stealing the money, it's going to collapse the markets, everything like that.
Yeah.
But right before that, after he tells him that, and James is trying to tell him, like, "Oh, this is a terrible idea," whatever. So he says, "Oh, please, James, spare me the Freud. I might as well ask you for all the vodka martinis that have silenced the screams of all the men you've killed. Or if you find forgiveness in the arms of all those willing women for all the dead ones you failed to protect. England is about to learn the cost of betrayal, inflation adjusted for 1945. So it's kind of like a nice put down on Bond. It's like, oh, well, what the hell do you care about? All these people you've killed and women you fucked over for years. It's like, I'm going to do what I want now. So there you go.
Yep.
So they're all out for revenge one way or another. It's like you said, there's not a lot of quotes that are in there. There's like small like quips here and there. But when I was thinking about the reason why I think this movie doesn't do as well, I think Pierce Brosnan as Bond is trying too hard to be like funny or like clever. Where it seemed like it was more natural in other films.
I feel like we could be able to do something like we pick our top 5 like innuendos from like Connery, Brosnan, and Daniel Craig, and see who has the best ones. You know, like
It was
go
Connery.
top 10.
It was Connery.
It would literally just be the fact that Pussy Galore's name is Pussy Galore.
Yeah.
Yes. So Nick says, funny how after all the gunfire, General Osimov was afraid of the gas tanks.
Yeah.
The pleasure, I'm sure, was all mine, from Bond to Onatop. And I'll trust you'll stay on top of things. It was
Moneypenny?
Moneypenny.
Top.
So,
I'll trust you stay on top of things.
yep, that's exactly. Yeah, I have that one as well. That's one I liked. It was like, "Good night, James."
There he is in the phone booth.
I trust you'll stay. Yeah. As we have the movie on in the background, there's a guy in the phone booth that was stuck. For mine, I like Q. Don't touch that! It's my lunch. Get the big ass hoagie sandwich, which is actually about to happen soon. Let's see, and there's the one, Caroline. I enjoyed a spirited ride as much as the next girl, but who's that?
Oh wait.
The next girl. As Onatop shows up next. Let's see. What you got, Kev?
No, I just forgot. In the first bunker scene with Boris, when he has the pass room with the bikini-clad woman, basically. And
Yes.
I don't know the one woman behind her that she shows it to.
Yeah.
And she just goes, he wouldn't know woman if one came up and sat on his head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn slugheads.
Let's see. Got another one for James Bond.
I am invincible.
They always said the pen was muddier than the sword, talking about the bomb pen. See, Miss Moneypenny. Someday you'll have to make good on your innuendos. Miss Moneypenny, the Bond, as they're flirting back and forth. Oh, the tension, the sex tension is fantastic. Let's see, Miss Moneypenny, get me a. Oh yeah, we'll try yours, Brian. Let's see, as you can see by the boost cam, I'm done. Get our next camera. So M authorizes you to observe Miss Onatop, but stipulates no contact without prior approval. End transmission, Moneypenny. Good night, James. I trust you'll stay on top of things. I love a good pun. So that's what I got for quotes. As I said, there wasn't much. That was what he had, and that's what we're gonna be for right now. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back and finish the rest of this podcast with our usual movie awards, movie quotes, a little BTS. Hopefully, we make it through this round, and nothing gets fucked up. And we'll let you know what the next beer is. Go ahead. Open the beer.
I'm trying to be quiet.
And who gives a shit? It's Reels, Booze, and Bros. We talk about the movies. We drink the beer. You can obviously hear the beer. Hold on. There we go.
Oh.
And then go. If Nick can do it through the not that fucking close to the microphone now.
Made sure.
We'll make sure this is like it's like old school earmuffs. All right.
I'll just put it next to it while I'm pouring now. Then. No, it's not making any noise. Whatever. Just resulting in shitty pour is what that's doing.
I see. All right, so let's take a quick break. We will be back. Stick with us. We'll talk in the chat, and we'll come back. All right. Bring everything to mute so we can let's go and start streaming. Lost all of it at that point. Not too far into going through, but
But no, it's we say every single time it doesn't taste like it's that strong, and it doesn't. But it's still, you can kind of get that like kind of hoppiness at the end for a little bit for the most part. But
yes,
this is really.
Bring everything to mute. Yeah, it's picture somewhere. Yo, you guys we just broke the bank, man. I hope you guys enjoy. Christmas will be great.
Drum roll.
Yeah, a little drum roll. Yeah, because God,
That is young.
began. Go. It was the no.
3 bonds, right?
And what?
I liked it, you know.
Vote you to like moderator. So you 7.5 for me. Was most memorable.
The guitarist is the guy who plays. What's his name? From the group.
Edge.
I don't know.
Is it Edge?
Is that the bass player?
Yeah.
Dang. I'll go with the
Is
interrogate.
that
Fuck I want.
That's right. So I digress. Moving on.
Department.
It was honoring.
Invincible.
They always said the pen was muddier than the sword. Talking about movie awards, movie quotes, a little BTS. Hopefully we make it through this round and nothing gets fucked up. We'll let you know what the next beer is. Go ahead. Open the beer.
I'm
Open
trying
the
to be
beer.
quiet.
And who gives a shit? Right. Now pay attention, 007. First, your new car, a BMW Agile 54 with gears, all points radar, self-destruct system, and, naturally, all the usual refinements. Now this, I'm particularly proud of. Behind the headlights, Stinger missiles. I love you, Q. Love you. All right. Welcome back to Reels, Booze, and Bros, a.k.a. RB2. Let's finish the rest of this podcast. Bring it on home. Where are my fucking notes? Here we go. So, let's move on. Movie awards, what you've all been waiting for. Let's go with the best quote. We had a lot of killer quotes out there. A little tough on there. I'm going to throw this out. With James Bond referring to Onatop. She always did enjoy a good squeeze. Love a fucking pun. All right. Anyone else want to throw something else out there? Kev, Brian, what you got? Nick, in the chat, what you got? Let me know what you want over there. Go ahead, Brian. Oh, okay. Sounds rough.
It's tough. I mean, I do agree with that because I did say that as one of my quotes. But I guess if anything that's probably like really memorable would have to be, or it just stands out, is the government's change, but the lies, they never stay the same. But the lies, they stay the same.
Okay. Okay. Kev?
So I'm going with a quote I mentioned before. It's in the casino with Xenia. So she says, half of everything is luck, James, and the other half, fate. So if we're talking about kind of like a poignant quote, also just the idea about, what things actually happen or why they happen. So that's the only thing. There's not a lot of like really insightful, and I don't think the puns in this movie are all that good either.
No.
So I went with that one. So again, half of everything is luck, the other half fate.
I could be on board with that too.
I see. You know what? Nick says, I'm sure you'll stay on the top of it. And I like that one. I do.
That's probably the best pun they have in the whole movie.
Yep. And it's fantastic. And it refers to the woman. Just like Pussy Galore. But this is like kind of subtle, but not so much.
Slappers only.
As he on that. So I don't know. Again, this is not really a quote heavy movie. It's very tough to come up with.
Bond movies aren't quote driven.
No, of course they actually have a real script.
It's just dumb, quick one-liners that you hear once in a while. It's more they're action films where you're seeing what's going on.
Yes. So okay, I don't know. We got a lot of contenders out there. Only one winner, and it's on the top of it. Moving on. Best scene. For me, the tank chase scene. The dude, he's just drinking the fucking vodka throughout. I love it. The tank's going like 80 miles an hour, busting through buildings.
Not losing any steam.
Not one bit. You know what? They don't
gaining on the motherfuckers.
They don't make tanks like they used to.
That's Russian technology.
It is.
There.
It is. The Russian military. They had a huge. They're in World War II. They put tons of tanks. What they used. So. That's what I got. What do you guys got? Nick, I'll look for yours in the chat. And Brian, Kev, what do you guys got for best scene?
All right, so I have two. So one, I think my favorite scene in the movie is the R&D scene. I just love everything about it, with Q, and it's quick 5 minutes. But the other one that I truly love, and I think is very important for the rest of the Bond franchise, is like when Bond and M are talking for the first time in the room. So I think that just sets up like her character for later movies and does a very, very good job at it. So I would go with the R&D scene as my favorite for the movie, but more impactful for me would be the M scene. So that's what I'll leave it at.
Okay. I can get behind that. I like that. Kev?
So I'm going with a different scene.
Of course.
But we haven't even talked about it, though. I left it out. It's a secret.
Oh.
Anyway. No, it's not that. I just didn't want to read it before.
Scene.
No, yeah. I actually like the scene when they're in the actual Russian bunker when they first fire the actual lasers. That's when you first meet Boris and Natalia.
Uh-huh.
So that's when, they do the joke about, what was the first pun, which I didn't write down? Oh, what's in front of you? It can open doors and it's knockers. And then he gives the other clue. So he goes out for a cigarette. Then there's the actual attack where you see Oramov and Natalia come in. This is the first time you see the Goldeneye laser, which it's just like that. It's so stereotypical. They have the two keys they have to turn at the same time.
Yeah.
They bring in the Goldeneye thing, which I don't know why that one thing looks like a Goldeneye and it somehow hooks up to a computer. Like, I don't know what the point of that is. If it's just like for an encryption code or whatever, I don't get it. But then that whole scene where then the planes are coming in, the laser goes off, it shorts everything out. There's the big explosion. She's hiding in what you think she's hiding in the ventilation, but she's hiding in the cabinets down below. I thought that was a cool scene. If I was going to pick two scenes that I remember from the movie, it's that one. Again, it's the first time you meet Boris. He does the stupid "I'm invincible" line. And then it's either that. So the two scenes I would say is either that one or the tank scene. But you said the tank scene already, so I'll go with that one.
Tank scene's phenomenal. So before I tell what Nick says, so what happens when you don't turn the keys at the same time? Do you get like 3 tries and it's done? Is it 1 try when you're done, or
it's like you have 5 tries to get your password in, and then you're locked out for 15 minutes.
It's like ready 1, 2, 3, and then you go turn. It's like, oh, I turned on 3. You said 3.
Was it 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3 then go?
Yeah, like when you're supposed to, they never say. So I felt so curious, and I'm like, this is like why. Why and like why can't they be like 2 people? Okay, because it's pretty close. It's probably about an arm's length away. You can turn both keys at the same time to do it. I can understand if one's on the other side of the room and at least have 2 people. But like, why is it like?
Yeah, now that I think about it, it didn't look like they were that far away.
It's probably about 2 feet, 3 feet at max away. You need 2 people. Get the fuck out of here. If you want to make something, put one on the second floor, in the ceiling, the other one on the first floor behind like a fucking like a refrigerator in a break room. All right, turn the key on 3. I don't know. That would be just
Speaking of activating things, the scene on the background is the scene in the helicopter when he hits the eject seat. The look on Bond's face when he's trying to hit it with his head is fantastic.
Oh yeah, he's
and like so these guys are all like world-class spies. He didn't think, the ejector seat button is right there. Maybe we disable that somehow.
Yep, I like that. He's like had to use his head to turn everything on, and that's probably I suppose there was a good pun there or something like. Way to stay ahead of things, Bond.
Heads up play.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. So for Nick goes. Where he goes. I'm sure he goes. He likes. I think the opening scene with the motorcycle and plane, so realistic and believable. Brian, your thoughts on that? Can you agree with Nick?
No.
Here, look at his face. Here it comes.
Oh, fantastic. Let's see. Nick goes, the other side of the room is too far. By the time you hear it, it'll be too late. I guess what I'm talking about for the keys and things like that. But I'm just saying, if you really want to make something that's like with 2 people, put like at least one on a good...
The other side of the room?
Maybe 6 feet. Because like an average person's like what, like 5'9"?
Some gymnast is going to break in and use her hands and her foot to do the other one then.
You know what? If they do, fucking good. You know what? They deserve to have the fucking nuclear.
Kevin Durant reach of 7'1" wingspan.
So if you're Kevin Durant, like Jay said, you deserve to blow up the world. If you
can reach more than 5 feet regards, then good fucking for you. Go ahead. You have all the new codes. So I don't know. It's so stupid. All right. So moving on, the Randy Watson Award, best character. Tough.
No,
not for me. Fucking Q. I love Q in this. He was great, yelling about the sandwich, about the guns. Like I felt like he had the most speaking lines. I haven't seen it. It's been a while since I've seen the other Bonds, but I fucking love Q, that old motherfucker. Anyone else?
All right, so I'm just going to throw Xenia, favorite character in the movie. Fantastic.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm 100% serious.
You're fucking goddamn it. This is like my odd job.
Listen, the secondary villains are all the best character, I guess.
No, they're fucking not.
She's hot as hell, and she kills people. She fucks people to kill them. So good for her.
That's one way to do it.
I'm on board.
I'm going to have a 2-part answer again.
A 2.
M sets up her character for later on in the movies, so I love her demeanor for how she becomes the rest of the movies. But if I'm going to pick just for this movie, I'm going with Wade. Because he just does not care what fucking Bond says, and he just keeps calling him a different name every time. He's like, "Hey, Jimmy, you want to hand me that wrench over there?"
Hey, Jimbo.
Yeah. Just every time he talks to me,
Just takes first uses a sledgehammer to do something with the screwdriver, and just fucking takes and just slams on the engine. Up, we're good to go.
He was the perfect comic relief in this movie.
You
Like,
and your
when
stupid
needed,
Brits. Who gives a shit about them code words anymore?
Yeah, exactly. So he was just funny in the role that he had, and just I love the fact that he called him a different name every time. So.
Jimbo.
Yeah. Hey Jim, you wanna hand that over there? I'm right. Yeah. So that's what I'll go with. I'll go with Wade.
I see. So Nick chimes in with, I want to see Moneypenny, but Q was great. I agree with Kev too. Femke was hot. I mean, great.
Both are good. Both are good.
Both are good.
Hot and great.
Hot and great. Listen, she was attractive. The girls are attractive in the Bond movies. So I don't know. She sucked. Plain and simple. I go moving on. Adrian Balboa on the top. I hate you. I so fucking worthless.
I'm enjoying that whenever I pick a favorite character, someone has to say it's the worst character in the movie.
So Onatop, does she technically? Because we don't. I mean, I guess she's dead, but does she survive and make it to the U.S. and then she's in Rounders?
Was she in Rounders?
Yes.
She's it's weird. She's not the girlfriend. She's the love interest when the girlfriend leaves in the movie. But she comes back and she's like, cards. She says, I can spend the night if you want.
She loves cards.
Yeah, that's true. She is a gambler in this movie. And that movie,
she's fucking dead. She's fucking dead. Plain and simple.
I'm just trying to.
She died on
maybe scene. Maybe she somehow got some of the money from Trevelyan. That's what became her fun money to go into the World Series of Poker.
What was the pun he used right there when she got killed?
She always loved a good squeeze.
Yes, that's right. But how does it even kill you?
It's got to be the pressure. Yeah, like if the helicopter is pulling her, she's pressed against it. The straps have to be compressing her chest against the tree.
She's in between the tree that's split.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just trying to. I don't know. I feel like she would be.
You would have thought blood would be popping out.
She would break and then go through and then she'd.
Listen, helicopters can't be that heavy. James Bond just grabs onto one like it's no problem later on.
He flies away with it. He doesn't pull it down. So it's not like he's trying to hold it like Captain America and fucking the Winter Soldier's like.
Nah, Civil War.
Was it Civil War?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of Captain America fan are you?
Yes, it is.
What the fuck you mean?
It's in Civil War.
What when?
I'm just gonna say I don't remember, so you guys can fight.
Yes. Yes. He was captured. He was going.
Say I'm right.
All right. I'll go back to him.
I'm right. I know.
Let's see.
When the podcast is over, we're laser removing Jason's Captain America tattoo. You're not worthy of the shield anymore.
Okay, so Nick says Boris, traitor and a tool.
He was
for worst character.
Yeah, worst
character.
Yes.
Yeah, Boris. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a guy I want to punch in the face every time I see him.
I had somebody else, but I feel like he was for a computer nerd. I feel like he's like an easy target, I guess. But he plays the role of being a loser nerd well enough. I'm going with it. We're talking about stupid accents. Did you guys know Minnie Driver is in this movie?
Yes, bitch.
I'm going with her. She's the lounge singer singing "Stand by Your Man."
Oh, that's who
fucking.
that.
When I saw it, I didn't realize. I looked at it, I was like, "Holy shit, that looks like Minnie Driver." So I had to look it up, and sure enough, it's her.
So this is what she did to get the fucking.
And Bond even says, "Is someone strangling a cat up there?"
Yeah.
Who's strangling?
Stand by your man.
Oh, that's a great. Like, why didn't we say who's just strangling a cat or skinning a cat?
He's like, who's strangling the cat up there? That's my mistress.
that is my mistress.
I'm going with her. When I was like, I didn't think anyone was terrible in this movie. So like, even though I know like we're not supposed to like Boris, he's like a loser, but for that type of role of like computer hacker, he's the perfect kind of loser for that role. So I bought it at least.
She goes from there to Harvard Pars.
Yeah.
Nick's a little upset about the computer nerd talk.
I like him. He fits the role fine.
And he goes, and it's tough for him to say because he's a huge Alan Cumming fan. He was great in Spy Kids. So, great reference. Anyway, so that's what we got for, I don't know, I guess for...
Slugheads.
For worst character.
I am invincible.
So... Here we go. The tank chase scene's on right now. I love this.
Well, this is the thing. They're all shooting through the floor. No one hits them. And you're going to see Bond is going to shoot through the floor and kill all of them. So you know it goes.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well,
it's
actually,
not
the guy shoots first. He sees him first.
Right to the floor, no problem.
Yeah. Then there's this guy who was able to like shoot through the floor and at him and miss completely. So. Maybe because that guy was shooting.
And if they're missing Bond because he's ahead of the bullets, then why is Natalia not dead? Because she's behind him.
So the only way I can think about this is that they're literally shooting from their hip, while Bond's shooting from his shoulder. He's not aiming down sights, but it's higher up.
All I know is I'm just saying for Shane, who's out there listening, they're in the archives right now. That was the best multiplayer level in the Goldeneye. The hidden doors.
That's right, Shane.
Oh, fumble on the play.
There goes my phone. I was going to text you, Shane. Let's see what we got on that, but let us know. All right, little BTS behind the scenes.
And here comes the tank.
So, computer graphics were used to create the famous gun barrel opening, making this movie the first in the James Bond film franchise to use CGI. All right, several changes had to be made to the script during production because the plot was virtually identical to... Anyone want to guess?
Goldfinger?
A movie that already came out?
In 94, which was being released at the time, which it came out in 94.
True Lies?
Yes!
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, great fucking guess,
It's
bro.
94. That's the only thing I could think of.
I was thinking of the plot, so I wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about cyber weapons.
Nope. So,
True Lies, it's a dirty bomb that they're basically going to set off, right? Like an improvised nuclear weapon in Miami.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just remember the jet on the side of the building.
Yeah, that's when they're at the top.
And then-
But I just remember there was a bomb, is what I thought. I didn't think it was like a not an EMP.
And then
I guess I should say.
who's the female, the wife?
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, she's like doing this. The
Striptease dance.
Yeah, no, do it sexy. So that's all I remember from that. Okay, so first completely original James Bond movie without reference to any Ian Fleming novel or short story. At the time the script was being written, the producers were under the assumption that Timothy Dalton would be renewing the role of Bond. It was written to match Dalton's darker, more realistic portrayal of 007. And let's see, the most successful James Bond movie since Moonraker, 1979.
Jaws.
How do you think about that, Brian? The most successful movie since Moonraker.
Since Moonraker. I'm sure that Daniel Craig was.
Yes, but at the time, yeah.
All right, so I would have to know like when the movies came out. Like I can't remember. So
there was like a 6-year gap or 7-year gap between
6 years.
the last Dalton one and this one. No,
Yes.
between I don't know how it works for box office and stuff like that.
No, but I'm just saying when Moonraker was Roger Moore, right?
79.
Yeah, that was Roger Moore.
And then Dalton was probably the next one, and he was like.
I feel like Dalton was in 2. I don't know.
He was supposed to be in this one. The one show was going on.
I thought he did a Dalton.
But like it was a 6 year because of what's going on.
I don't know.
So there could be like years of So it's only.
There's also anticipation for this one. Then there's a while between Bond films.
If there's only one movie in between, then it's like, oh, okay, how is it that difficult to be the most successful since? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, I'll look it up while you guys talk.
Okay, so moving on.
Whatever. I'm not saying this is horrible. I'm just saying it's just whatever.
All right. So Paul McGann was the original choice for the role of Bond after Liam Neeson turned down the role. He would have been cast in the role had Pierce Brosnan turned down the role. And that's what I have for BTS. There's more, but I don't think it was that much.
Liam Neeson turned it down. And
turned it down. No, so Paul McGann was the original choice for the role of Bond after Liam Neeson.
Oh, Roger Moore did 4 more films after.
He would have been cast
Sorry.
in the role had Pierce Brosnan turned it down. So it came Liam Neeson.
So he was actually. I have him down as 4th choice. Pierce Brosnan.
Was he? That's all I got. So what do you got for there? This is what I got
for that. Hold on, let me go back. I had it in different notes. So I did have that Liam Neeson was offered the role first, and he passed on it. Mm-hmm. I had 2 more people who were offered. I think Liam Neeson would have been a good Bond also. Just thinking about the Taken movies, basically. It's similar. The first one, there's no chance he would have been a good James Bond. Hugh Grant was offered the role. No chance. Hugh Grant. He was offered the role. The other one, which I could see, I don't know. It's weird. Mel Gibson.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Holy shit!
So they were offered the role, and they all passed on it. But here's the thing: they wanted Pierce Brosnan originally. He was going to take over for Roger Moore, but he was busy doing something else. I don't remember what it was. Pierce Brosnan had some other thing, so that's when they got Timothy Dalton. So they already knew him, and that's why they eventually went back to him also. But what I'm looking at, it says they offered the role to Liam Neeson, Hugh Grant, and Mel Gibson, and all of them said no.
But Mel Gibson's not British.
I'm just telling you what I saw. He was
Yeah.
offered the role. So.
It's like offering like I don't know, like John Cena.
Well, that's
No.
our guy.
Well, hold on. Actually, now that I'm looking at what I have, it says they negotiated with both Mel Gibson, Hugh Grant, and...
so imagine Hugh Grant becomes
he-
Bond.
no way.
Well, what was he doing
Is he
before
still,
that?
well, apparently he was probably banging trannies in his car. That's what he got busted for.
Well, that's
He
fine.
was still, I mean, was he like 4 weddings and a funeral at that time?
That's probably before this. Yeah, that's probably his biggest film.
So
He was like a romantic comedy guy.
yeah, so just imagine he becomes Bond. What kind of type of movie career he has after that? Like, there's no way he can go back to being the fucking guy and the and like a romantic comedy guy after Bond. Like how
Probably
can you?
not.
It's all just straight just action from here on out.
Liam Neeson, there's no difference. He just goes around killing people in every movie he's in, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, he went from Schindler's List to fucking like Well, I never
He did
s-
other stuff besides Taken too, but
Yeah, but
he's also in Star Wars. Only the first one. The
Qui-
first one, yeah. Qui-Gon.
well, yeah, the prequels with
That was
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Phantom Menace.
Qui-Gon
That was
Jinn.
97.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So-
98.
Yeah, Nick
Well,
Reese.
that also brings up a point of our guy, The Rock, said he would like to be the next Bond.
If
Well,
they, yeah,
he's
if they
not
had
British
Mel
either.
Gibson, yeah. If they had if they wanted Mel Gibson in the '90s, then The Rock can, like, without a
Nah,
doubt.
He's not going to be
No,
Bond.
not one bit. I don't agree with that. So, and as Nick says, wow, guess The Rock has a chance. So, you know what? Let's next segue. Can The Rock make this movie better? I say make him Boris.
We just want The Rock to be
invincible.
we want him to be the nerdiest character in every movie, basically.
Just jacked.
The only thing I could think of was just make him one of the random guys having something terrible happen to him in Q's lab. So he's the guy in the phone
in the
booth.
phone booth.
Or there's another guy where they have
Right.
there's like a parachute that shoots out from a car thing where he's part of it also.
Serious question: can The Rock fit in a phone booth? Maybe.
Yeah, he can squeeze in. It'll make it that much funnier when the airbag goes off. The glass probably breaks. And then when the glass breaks, Stone Cold Steve Austin runs in the room and saves him. You know.
He just pours beer on him and shit and leaves. So, Brian, your thoughts? Can The Rock make this movie better?
No. For
Nick-
as much as I love The Rock, I feel like I say no on a lot of these movies.
Like, I don't know if he makes the movie better. That's why I just gave him the comedic role of having something unfortunate
Yes.
happen to him in Q's lab.
Yeah, I can't even picture him anywhere else. Maybe he's 008 and he just runs in real quick and he's just like, hey, so does that mean we move up a spot?
Yeah, seriously, that's actually a great question. So 006
So
is
if
killed.
006 is dead, Bond becomes 006, and The Rock becomes 007.
Yeah,
there you go.
exactly. So,
there's your promotion.
something along those lines.
Do we move up a spot? That's probably that's the part with the greatest thing.
Is this the whole thing we need?
Unanswerable question.
I can't remember the name. Oh, it's like the Kingsman. Like, do we need a new Galahad now? We have to replace all these people.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. Which was like fucking also good.
Yeah.
Nick says no for making it better on The Rock. So, all right, thank you, Nick. And let's see. So, should there be a sequel franchise TV series? I don't know. Should there be?
Nope, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
25 movies later.
Well, should there be more with Pierce Brosnan? Obviously, there are 3 more after this. Things like that.
I'm surprised they haven't done any Bond film where they've brought back a previous Bond, like an actual Bond, just for some weird reason.
Let them play the villain.
Yeah, like they have Trevelyan as 006 here, so why not have Pierce Brosnan be, or I guess now when Daniel Craig steps aside, have him be the villain somehow. I guess you can't picture Bond as being a bad guy, I guess.
Can't. But you know what? I like that
It'd be
concept.
cool to,
Or just have him be like
to
a mentor
pull,
to the next person, like the
all-
Kingsman.
not
Like
even-
have him be a
not
mentor to
even
the next
that,
person
like-
that
Oh, like
comes up.
his dad was
have
the,
take a forgotten Bond, fucking Timothy Dalton, and have him be the bad guy.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
like old, right? How old is he? Like probably in his 80s, I bet.
No.
How old is
He's
Timothy
gotta
Dalton?
I have no
He's got to
idea.
be in his 60s.
Is he? So
The
have
whole
him,
premise
have,
can be he was like, I got fired as being James Bond, so now I'm mad. It doesn't even have to be.
Bring him back as the villain, but I guess Spectre was the huge organization. And the next one be the head of that organization, or something like
It's
that.
going to be late 60s.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was looking to make sure he was still alive. He's 75.
That's true.
75. Okay.
So yeah, I was fucking close. Nick's multiverse Bond.
There you go.
God damn it, Doctor Strange.
Well, there you go. That's how they get Idris Elba in. There's got to be a black James Bond somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's what. You know what? That's for me. As I said before in the last podcast, there always need to be a Bond movie, and I want Idris Elba as the next Bond. So, yeah, he's old. I don't give a fuck. Have you seen the latest Suicide Squad with him in there?
I know. We talked about this last time.
Yeah, I know.
We don't know.
Get in the fucking podcast.
We don't know about that because it got cut.
Because it got cut. So, God damn it. It was good. He's the one that made that movie.
I'll bring up Hemsworth again. He'd be my vote. He's Australian, close enough. He has an accent.
Hey, some sort of accent.
I said, I think Henry Cavill. I think he would be a good Bond.
Fucking
I
up.
can see that too.
An accent so fucking Jet Li then. You want an accent? It's so fucking fine.
Know who said who wants to play Bond? Fucking Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Huh. He's too young. He's too young.
Yeah, I would say too young.
He's too young, and he's.
He needs a lot of more years.
He says that's a role that he wants to play.
Yeah, of course. A British actor would be. I would take the guy from The Kingsman. I think he can do it.
The younger guy's name I can't remember.
Well,
the guy who's
the
actually
main
the
star,
main
yeah,
guy in
like-
the movie. Yeah,
yeah,
I can't remember his name.
Some like Aaron.
Is it Eckhart?
No,
Aaron
Tajardan or
Eckhart's
something
someone
like
else. Yes, with the T.
Yeah.
He played fucking what's his
Rocket
face?
Man, he played,
yeah, he was.
Oh, right. No, I can picture the guy. I
John
don't remember
Elton.
what his name was
Yeah.
from the Kingsman.
I'm
I've
sorry,
seen that.
John Elton. John Elton for us, for us Americans.
No,
I mean,
but
Elton
because
John,
he already
phenomenal.
played the spy, and the Kingsman movies were.
He's
fucking
probably too
awesome.
old now, but also from the Kingsman movies. Colin Firth would have been a good Bond, also probably, but he's probably
He's a
too old.
bald-headed guy, right?
No, he's the original guy that's training
Yeah,
the
he's
new guy.
Galahad.
The guy
Yes.
the guy that loses
He's
his
his mentor,
memory.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's been
He
a while.
would have
been a good
better
Bond.
than fucking
Pierce Brosnan, definitely.
Well, not only Pierce Brosnan, but the fact that they said Hugh Grant, like,
Oh, for people that were looking for
Yeah.
at the time, yeah.
at least he's believable as a badass.
So right now, since Daniel Craig is done, let's do this. Who should we wait? Actually, should we wait to the next one? And,
Yeah, we could probably wait till the
and
next
cast. So a casting what if and who? Idris Elba. Who should be the next Bond? All right, so we'll wait. I don't want to go over time on here. We're almost at another 30 minutes.
I know.
I know. So, all right, before we go on, Brian, you brought this beer. Since I'm fucking burping and hiccuping like a motherfucker over here, let's great segue to the beer. This is called. It's not Icarus Brewing. It's called It's Official, an IPA, Imperial India Pale Ale, 7.8%. And Brian, what are your thoughts on this beer?
I would read the caption of what it says, but I can't pronounce a couple of these, so I'm not going to.
So we think heavily oated and wheated Northeast style Imperial India Pale Ale, hot with Halatu, Blanc, Amarillo, and Columbus.
What the fuck is Columbus?
What the fuck is Columbus? I'm gonna look it up in a second right now. So
Then dry hopped with Motier, Strata, and even more Hallertau Blanc. So they put even more of it in afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
there
like,
you go.
I didn't want to mess up on the pronunciation of any of those words, so thanks, guys.
yeah, we fucked it up.
Yeah.
Columbus hops. Let's say.
But it's not as smooth as the first beer we had, but it is nice. If we could find out what that Columbus is, I mean...
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Columbus CTZ hops pellets. This dual-purpose hop is a high alpha varietal with a neutral bitterness and intense aroma. Floral and citrus notes come... He's fucking smelling the beer. So floral and citrus notes come out in both aroma and flavor, but it can be...
No, it kind of makes sense now. Just saying, like...
Can be very pungent, which makes Columbus great for laying dishes to a boil or dry hop. You motherfucker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was doing something wrong here. Jesus
I'm sorry, I
Christ.
thought this was America.
Yeah.
He smelled the beer.
Yeah, how dare you?
I see. All right, so Nick is asking Santa. All I asked for Christmas is that the guy save me a can of this beer. We got you, Nick. All right, we got you. We want the gold and this fucking. It's official. We got one for each of you. All right. God damn it! I lost my train of thought. Where the fuck are we now? So we're finishing this up, and all right. So final thoughts. Kev, final thoughts on Goldeneye. I know this is Brian's like in his top 5, so I want to go with you first.
I wouldn't say this is a top 5. This, like I said, when I was rewatching it, I was under the impression I was not going to enjoy this as much on a rewatch that it was, because I don't remember a lot about the movie being good. I don't remember a lot about any of the Pierce Brosnan movies being all that good. But when I was watching it, it was fine. I don't think there was anything wrong with the film. I'm not going to say it's great. I'm not going to say it's bad. So that's why I went with like a 7.5 for the rating. It's an enjoyable watch. There's nothing that's too, compared to other Bond movies, there's still nothing that's too unbelievable or stupid that's in there. There's some good lines that are here and there. The action scenes are still pretty good. It's fine. I think, like I said before, the only two that I think that he did 4 films. This and Tomorrow Never Dies are okay. But I still wouldn't say they're better than like literally any of the other Bond films by other actors. Yeah. So those are the two that I would put up there.
All right, so before we go on, I think I might change my vote. I fucking hate that chick. Natalia, because like she's like, oh my God, you saved me, I love you, I'm gonna have sex with you, and it's like, why do you have to be a super spy? Why do you have to just, fuck you, we're gonna go on this great adventure, and then next thing we're in fucking Cuba.
And she's in charge all of a sudden. Well, I'm going with you.
Yeah, and like, oh, we're so cool, let's have sex next to this, like this 17 palm trees and blah blah. Oh, you and your fucking guns, fuck you and stuff like that, James. Why you gotta hurt yourself? And it's like, motherfucker, I'm a fucking spy. Nothing changed. And then she falls in love with him again, and he's like fucking penetrating her later on, and then she's like the same exact bullshit. She's like hates him. I'm like, what the fuck? Though she's very attractive. I'm not a big fan of short hair, but she looks good for it.
She pulls off the short hair.
But she's a fucking cunt. I'm sorry. All right, Brian, go ahead. Your final thoughts on there.
I'm gonna stick with what I had as the first part of this.
9.5.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Nice. I'm topping off at a 7. For me, this is the best that Brosnan did in the Bond movie. So I'm like, rewatching this, I had a little bit higher hopes for it. I'm like, oh man, if this is the best one out of all of them, I'm like, oh geez, the other ones I'm not really gonna go watch anytime soon. But I'm just like, it has its moments here and there. The story's not terrible. I think for me, just because of how much I enjoy the Daniel Craig ones, kind of ruins it for me watching these. So it's just it's a little tough to watch at parts, but you could get through it. And it's Bond. You got to realize what you're getting into. It's over the top. It's like a regular person trying to be a superhero, like on steroids. So it's just like whatever you could think is possible, he could do it. And it's just whatever. He pulls chicks. He's jumping into planes. He's fucking driving tanks. And not a scratch on him. Fucking guy's invincible. So that saves the day all the time. What are you gonna do?
Good job, Jimbo.
I just want to point out just the other two that I didn't mention. It's Die Another Day and Tomorrow Never Dies. Those are like really bad films. Those are not good at all. The World Is Not Enough is okay. And actually, I was just thinking about it. The World Is Not Enough actually does have one of the better themes, and it's sung by the lead singer from Garbage, if I remember correctly. Actually, not a bad theme. So again, this one and The World Is Not Enough are okay, but I think the problem with I think the other two films are so bad that it just drags everything else down. They're really bad.
So before
one of them had a Halle Berry in it.
That was I think
yes.
Die Another Day.
Die Another Day. She was kind of
Tomorrow Never Dies is Terry Hatcher.
I don't know. So. I'd have to look at it to see. Exactly.
I know she's one of them in his movie.
Yeah, I think it's that one because Denise Richards is the one in The World Is Not Enough.
That's like the last one, right?
I don't think that was the last one. I thought that was the second one. I don't know. Like I said, I don't care about these movies enough to know the order. By the way, the scene that's on the TV right now when you're talking about hating her, watch where the camera pans to when she walks up to him. It's like a gratuitous crotch shot of her when she walks up. So when I notice, and it's look.
Oh yeah,
and it just stays right there.
It's like this sarong is talking to me, and all
right, that's all I want to point out.
So yeah, thank you. So for my final thoughts, I liked it, very enjoyable. I fucking love his beautiful hair, beautiful, thick, black locks.
Just a slight hint of gray at the top there.
Slight, mesmerizing. And What else? Does he have blue eyes? I don't know. The hair has got me. And for all the Pierce Brosnan films, all I can remember is this scene with the opening scene where he's jumping into a helicopter. Then somehow it fast forwards to Sean Bean with like a fucked up face. Then it fast forwards to him being chased by a laser in the Arctic or something. And Halle Berry pops up at the end, and that's all I remember.
All right, that's not what happens.
not one bit, but that's all I remember. And god damn it, there she is again.
She just slapped him, but now she wants
she's
more.
like, I hate you. Why do you gotta be this super spy? Let's have sex. I slap you.
Put a baby in me.
Yeah, so I hate her. You know what? I'm changing it. On the top, you're good to go. You have a purpose. It's weird, but this
she's the best character in the movie, Jay.
You know what? I'll probably switch to her. I love Q. He was so fucking funny in this one, and yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's an enjoyable movie. I'm not gonna rewatch it. Like I want to say, it's not gonna be my top 10 of rewatchables, but when it's on, I'll watch some of it. I do like the idea of having it, the 006 finally like revealed and him being a bad guy, which is pretty interesting. His background, wah, and so that's it. And so
the government killed my parents.
It's like, fucking welcome to America. The government kills everyone's parents. So
well, actually, no, the dad killed himself and his mother. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
But it was because of the whole interaction with everything.
Yes.
Well, whatever. Anyway,
so
the government kills parents.
yeah, it happens.
Government meeting.
Yeah, because every government's fucking great in every country. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Goldeneye. And our next episode is gonna be Brian. I'm gonna let you pick right now. Pick it.
I thought we settled Skyfall.
Skyfall. Well, I'm making sure.
Okay.
So Skyfall, Daniel Craig, and Nick said. He goes. Let me reiterate this. Nick. Excuse me. Excuse me. Before I go on, Nick says, "Good movie. That's definitely the best Brosnan Bond. Brosnan Bond. Which one's Halle Berry? That's called Foreplay." He goes, "Brian and I are going to literally fight about Daniel Craig being Bond. He's overrated."
Wow. Oh wow, I wouldn't agree with that.
And
at all.
I said Thunderdome, which is like I'm very excited. 2 bros enter, one fucking bro leaves.
Daniel Craig is probably the most intimidating Bond as far as like actual physical ability is concerned.
He's the most realistic Bond you've ever had.
Oh shit!
If there was one Bond I was going to fight to the death, it would not be Daniel Craig.
Oh shit! It'd be like Pierce Brosnan.
It would be Pierce Brosnan.
See, he's so flimsy.
Roger Moore's definitely some cunning
He's tall.
son of a
He's
bitch.
tall at least. He's got the reach.
Yeah. Once you get
Timothy Dalton, I don't know enough about. He might not be a great fighter either.
So.
But no, Daniel Craig would fuck people up. That's a broken kneecap immediately right there.
All right, so I want to say thank you for tuning in on the Twitch chat. And
have you seen that picture of him on the beach? My goodness, that's the open at Casino Royale, right? Coming on the beach.
Yeah, it's like fucking. He's like cock and balls, just hanging out in that. It was a blue. It was a blue.
That,
fucking,
that 007 has MMA
like boy
experience.
shorts.
I want no part of that.
So we hope you enjoyed our review as much as we enjoyed drinking this movie. And I said our next episode will be Skyfall. And if you want to be part of the Reels, Booze, and Bros, aka RB2 podcast, check us out on our website at reelsboozebros.com. And check us again, this Twitch channel, RB2 Podcast, Twitter, RB2 Podcast, our YouTube. It's there. Again, thank you for everyone who joined us. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Pretend you don't know what color the bathing suit was. Listen, I want to say it's baby blue, Nick, for Daniel Craig.
No, I thought it was black.
Was it black? No.
No, I don't know.
All right, before we end the stream, I'm gonna look it up fucking now. Give me a second. Someone talk. No dead air. Let's see, Daniel Craig.
So in the beginning, there were dinosaurs, but they got big and fat, and they turned into oil. And then came the Arabs, and they all bought Mercedes-Benzes. I can't remember the rest of the speech from Airplane. Tell me everything that happened up to this point.
Ha! Oh shit, I'm right. It's baby blue.
Is it blue?
It's baby blue with a fucking black trim on top.
Well, congratulations at staring at Daniel Craig's crotch too much.
God damn it. That's the greatest trivia I know ever. All right, and that's where we ended at on that one. Thank you. Cheers.
So here you can see.
And so I'll tell you what.
So here you can see the whole thing is she gets compressed against the tree with the straps on her.
I'm seeing it.
So it happens real quickly, but it has to be the assumption she's so hot. Though.
So as we are still streaming right now on Twitch, I don't give a shit. Brian is dying, and so
wait your turn.
I'm pretty sure she orgasms as she's dying right there.
Well, that's the
correct?
whole point of like every scene she's in.
Yes,
is that she's basically orgasming.
All right.
But here, yeah. So she gets. It's got to be because. Although I don't know why she wouldn't just go through. Fucking sarcastic asshole. He's like,
Yeah, it would be nice.
maybe a little thank you for putting this car together. You know?
So, I don't know. Again, this is
the first punt.
so.
And make it to the U.S. from there to,
No way he can go back.
Yeah, I can't
attractive. I'm not.
That's not what happened.
It'd be like Pierce Brosnan.
It would be.
You pretend you don't know what color the bathing suit was.
Happened up to this point.